this is Soundout here with the last Figma for the foreseeable future. We have Kamen Rider Blank Knight. This is the last Dragon Knight Figma that they're releasing. This is the last Figma I'm buying that Max Factory is releasing. And, well, here we go. This was a Figaro exclusive, so you had to order it through a magazine, but it was also available online, I believe through Monoshop. So anyway, I picked this up from Okinawan Toy Seller because he is a middleman service, so he was able to get me this, and so there we go. As you can see, Figma SP032, Kamen Rider Dragon Knights, Kamen Rider Blank Knight. The Monoshop logo, I guess, a Figaro or something up there. 156, I don't really know what it's about. Side profile shot. Pictures of Blank Knight. I mean, they really got a lot out of this figure for how little he was in the show. Figma logo on the side. And a cool little pose on the top. But anyway, without further ado, let's get this over with. As you can see, Blank Knight's box fits in with all the other boxes. Dear Lord, that was scary. All 14 boxes are here. I am finally done with this line. Let's get this review over with now. So here is Kamen Rider Blank Knight. Kamen Rider Blank Knight was in the show for a single episode, and he was Kit Taylor before he contracted with the Dragon and became Kamen Rider Dragon Knight. I don't feel like pulling him out of this pose because he's awesome. Anyways, so this is kind of a blank form. When you have no contract beast, you go to a very gray color scheme, and you really don't have much you can do. Oja did it in Ryuki when Ryuga took out his Advent Beast. Blank Knight, come on. Anyways, yeah, this guy, there is nothing new here, basically. If you take a look at him and Dragon Knight, I'm just being lazy, I'm sorry. I just really want to leave my Figmas, just have them sit there. As you can see, they redid the head, so it no longer has the dragon emblem. The eyes are really well done on Blank Knight. You can see more of the red. It's a brighter red as opposed to Dragon Knight. I don't know which I like more. I kind of like the Blank Knight one more. So, anyway. And then the drag visor is no longer drag visor. It's a blank visor, I guess. I don't really know what it is. And then the belt is painted differently. Everything else painted into the color scheme of Blank Knight. So, take it as you will. It is basically just Blank Knight. He is very blank. But, outside of that, he's got a bag. He's got a stand. And he's got all these hands. But that's about it. I mean, he's got the same articulation as Dragon Knight and Onyx, so if you haven't seen those reviews, go watch those if you want to see the articulation. But, I mean, he's just kind of a bland figure. But what does make up for it, he does come with a new weapon. So Blank Knight's lone weapon is his sword vent. It's kind of a bland sword, but it's there, it's cool, and, well, does something kind of special. Look at it, it's broken. Yeah. Since basically all the sword vent did in the show was basically break on that spider monster, they give you a broken sword vent, which is freaking awesome. It's just awesome. It's so awesome, it's awesome. Anyways, yeah. There's a lot of fun stuff you can do with this sword vent. Look at that! It's not a final vent card! It's a sword vent card! Because, you know, Blank Knight never had a final vent. And so they didn't give him a final vent, which is accurate to the show, so that's really, really cool. Yeah, there's still not much to say about these cards. I still love them, but I'm finally glad this is the last card, and at least it's something different than an exploding animal. Overall, can I recommend Kamen Rider Blank Knight? No, not at all. This guy is awesome, and you can get him in some pretty funny poses, like him crying here. But no, this guy was an exclusive, so you're going to have to pay out the ass for him. I paid about, I think, $45 plus shipping. Yeah, very, very pricey for these guys, but I'd say if you're gonna buy a Figma, Blank Knight's not the way to go unless you can get him for about 2,000 yen off Mandarake. Then I can recommend him. But other than that, he's kind of just Dragon Knight with a new head, a new weapon, and a new visor thing. Whatchamacallit, card reader. That's it. Yes, he has more new parts than Onyx, but the way Onyx looks, he's a lot cooler and has more posing options. Basically, with Blank Knight, you can pose him holding the sword, and you can pose him crying over the broken sword, or whatever you want to do. He's a fun figure, but you're going to pay a lot for him, and that's really where I can't recommend him. So overall, the Dragon Knight Figmas turned out a lot better than I think anyone expected. Well, mostly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do something. I'm going to rate these figures. Who is the best? Who is the worst? I'm going to give first place. Well, we'll start with third place. Third place, best figure goes to Onyx. Onyx looks fantastic. Everything works on him. He's pretty good. But his belt is a little... his Advent deck is not the right color. Second place goes to Wrath. Wrath is still my favorite Figma, but he is still the second best figure. Overall, the best figure in this entire line is Dragon Knight. Everything works perfectly on this figure. I have no complaints with him at all. Never did, never, probably never will. He is the epitome of a perfect Figma. Anyways, now on to the worst. Third worst figure? Camo! His weapon is crap. It's terrible. It's absolutely terribly horrible. So I really don't like... So he gets really bad points for him basically having very limited options with what he's given. Second worst figure goes to Siren! She's the most disappointing, that's for sure. It's just because she's so fragile. And everything, just about everything's broken on her now. And I really have not touched the figure, aside from moving it. And, of course, you know this one already. The worst figure in this entire line, Blank Knight! Just kidding, he's awesome. Sting. Sting is still the terrible, terrible figure of this entire line. I hate him so much. But that is the Figmas. The ones I can recommend to you: Dragon Knight, Wing Knight, Onyx, Strike, Wrath, and... where is it? Axe and Spear. Those ones I can recommend out of those. If you're going to get any of them, get Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight and Wing Knight are probably the best ones. Wing Knight's got a little problems, but get Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight is the best Figma in this entire line. But anyway, that is my rating of the line overall. If you're wondering where the other ones place in my lists, they're just kind of in the middle. But that is it. So, I am finally done with this Figma line. I've got all 14 of them. Should I branch into figure arts next? Anyway, be sure to check out WriterTransRambles.com for token news in the craziest way possible. Until next time, saying goodbye.